So this is lesson 7, which is the chemistry of the environment. First of all, we have Earth's atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere is a delicate balance of gases which is essential for life. It comprises primarily nitrogen, which is 78% of the atmosphere, oxygen, which is 21% of the atmosphere, and argon, which is 1% of the atmosphere, along with trace of amounts of other gases like carbon dioxide, water vapor, and the ozone. These gases interact in complex ways, influencing weather patterns and climate change, and climate, and the overall health of our planet. So, atmosphere. Here are the 5 layers of the atmosphere. First of all, we have the troposphere. It is the lowest layer where weather occurs. That's what you see at the sky, where the clouds are. So, next is the stratosphere. Contains the ozone layer, which shields us from harmful UV radiation. It shields us from the harmful stuff that tries to enter our planet. So, mesosphere protects the Earth from meteors. It protects the Earth from random rocks floating around space. Thermosphere, the hottest layer where auroras occur, is what you see at the North Pole, the beautiful skies and patterns. Exosphere, the outermost layer gradually merging with space. This is the last layer which you're only blocks away from space. So next, how does human activities affect the Earth's atmosphere? And how does Earth atmosphere affect humans? Human activities and Earth's atmosphere, including industrial process, transportation, deforestation, and agriculture, significantly affect the atmosphere. The burning of fossil fuels releases greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, contributing to global warming. Chlorofluorocarbons damage the ozone layer, increasing UV radiation exposure. Air pollution from sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide leads to acid rain, which harms the ecosystem and human health. First, we have greenhouse gas emissions. The burning of fossil fuels releases greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane, contributing to global warming and climate change. So, in greenhouse gases, in factories, there will be burnings of those kind of chemicals that will release harmful chemicals for the atmosphere that is contributing to global warming. This significantly affects people's health. Industrial processes, vehicle emissions, and other human activities release pollutants such as sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and particulate matter, causing respiratory problems and acid rain, which is very unhealthy for people. Ozone depletion. This is the result of global warming because humans have depleted the ozone layer throughout the years. As you can see in the picture, the ozone layer in 1989 was better than what it is gonna be in 2028. Fading away, the release of chlorofluorocarbons has depleted the ozone layer, increasing the risk of skin cancer and other health problems for all of us.
Earth water. Water is essential for life. It covers about 71% of the Earth's surface. So, 71% ang gi-cover sa water diri sa kalibutan. So, ato makita nga gamay ra gyud ang yuta niining kalibutana. So, it exists in various form including liquid, solid, and gas. The water cycle, a continuous process of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation regulates the distribution of water on Earth. So this is the water bodies in Earth. First is oceans, lakes, rivers, and groundwater are primary water bodies. So kana day tanan nga makita nato. Mao day na mga water bodies diri sa kalibutan. Now, let's proceed to human activities and Earth's water. So human activities have degraded water quality and availability. Industrial discharge, agricultural runoff, and sewage introduce pollutants like heavy metals, nitrates, and pathogens into water bodies. overuse of groundwater for irrigation, and urbanization causes aquifer depletion and land subsidence. Climate change also exacerbates water scarcity and increases the frequency of extreme weather events, disrupting the water cycle. First is water pollution. Industrial waste, agricultural runoff, and sewage discharge pollute water bodies, harming aquatic life and human health. So, dili jud maayo ng anak. And ikaduha, water scarcity. Overconsumption, inefficient irrigation practices, and climate change contribute the water scarcity in many regions. And the third one is ocean acidification. Increased carbon dioxide absorption by oceans leads to acidifications affecting marine ecosystem. So, muna ang three nga cause sa human activity.
Good day. For this topic, we will tackle about Earth's soil. Soil is a crucial component of Earth's biosphere, supporting plant growth, regulating water, and serving as a habitat for microorganisms. So, ang soil is isa ka importanteng natural nga resources nga naga-suporta sa kinabuhi sa kalibutan. It provides nutrients for plants, homes for organisms, and plays a significant role in regulating water and carbon. So, ang lain-laing type sa soil is adunay unique characteristics nga nagahimo sa ila nga angay gamiton sa lain-lain nga panginahanglan. Understanding these properties is crucial for sustainable farming and environmental management. So, ang soil conservation efforts importante aron maprotektahan ang health sa soil o masiguro nga magpabilin kini sa nga valuable resource for future generations. So, let's move on to the human activities on Earth's soil. Human activities, including deforestation, mining, and intensive agricultures, degrade soil quality. So, ang mga kalihukan sa mga tao sama sa pagputol sa mga kahoy, pag-mining, o intensive agriculture, makadaot sa kalidad sa yuta. Kini magdala og mga problema sama sa erosion, salination, o contamination gikan sa pesticide o industrial waste. Kini nga butang magpaluya sa fertility sa mga yuta, hinungdan nga lisod sa pagtubo sa mga tanom. Ang dili sustainable nga pamaagi sama sa paggamit sa yuta, kini makapekto sa food security o health ecosystem. Pero apan sa pagpaningkamot sama sa sustainable agriculture o reforestation o pagpananom utro sa mga kahoy, makatabang arog mapungan ang mga daotang epekto niini. Soil pollution. Industrial and agricultural pollutants can contaminate soil. So, ang mga chemicals gikan sa pabrika, pesticides nga gigamit sa yuta kung dili maayo ang pag-manage, makaapekto sa yuta. Kini nga pollutants makadaot sa tanom, hayop o pwede usab makatag epekto sa atong panglawas kung kita makagamit sa yutang kontaminado. So, the last one is deforestation. Clearing forests remove vegetation that helps holds the soil in place, leading to erosion and loss of fertility. So, clearing forest o pagputol sa mga kahoy nga naghold sa yuta, kung mawala kini, dali magka-erode o mawala ang fertility sa soil. Without these trees, the soil become loose and unprotected, which cause erosion, and this leads to decrease the ability to the soil to grow healthy plants and crops. And that's all for my topic. Thank you for listening.
Our topic is green chemistry. Green chemistry aims to design chemical processes and products that minimize environmental harm and reduce waste. Principles includes using renewable resources, designing non-toxic products, and improving energy efficiency. Innovations such as biodegradable plastics, safer solvents, and energy efficient synthesis demonstrate the potential of green chemistry to support a sustainable future. So, to translate lang, ang green chemistry is mag-design. To translate, so ang green chemistry is mag-design o mga chemical processes and products nga maka-reduce og harm sa environment nga makadaot og magamit siya renewable resources, avoid toxic materials. Ang example ana is switching to biodegradable plastics instead of regular plastics to reduce pollution. Key principles of green chemistry: prevention of waste. Example, reusing leftover chemicals in labs. So instead nga ilabog na itong mga leftover nga chemical sa lab, so pwede pa nato siya magamit, reuse. 2. Atom economy. Maximize the use of all materials in the final product, minimizing leftovers. 3. Less hazardous chemicals synthesis. So, create products using methods that are safer for humans and environment. So, mag-create product na safe sa humans o environment. 4. Designing safer chemicals. So, make chemicals that are effective but non-toxic. Example, non-toxic household cleaners. 5. Safer solvents and reagents. Use substances that are safer for the environment during production. Example, using ethanol instead of benzene. 6. Design for energy efficiency. Reduce energy use in production. Example, reactions that work at room temperature instead of high heat. 7. Use of renewable resources. 7. Use of renewable feedstocks. Use resource that can be replenished. Example, using plant-based materials instead of petroleum.
Number 8. Reduce derivatives. Avoiding creating an unnecessary intermediate chemical that increase waste. Example, making medicine directly instead of through multiple example steps. 9. Catalysis. Use catalysis of speed up reactions and reduce energy and waste. Example, using enzymes in detergent production to clean at lower temperatures. Number 10. Design for degradation. Ensure product break down into harmless substance after use. Example, developing plastics that decompose into water and carbon dioxide. Mao na siya ang biodegradable plastics. Number 11. Real-time analysis for pollution. Continuously monitor chemical process to avoid waste and pollution. Example, sensors that detect harmful emissions during manufacturing. Number 12. Inherently safer chemistry for accident prevention. Design process and chemicals that reduce waste of accidents like spills of explosions. Example, using non-flammable chemical or materials. By understanding the chemistry, we can mitigate the negative impacts of human activities and preserve our planet for the future generations.